Hey everybody, welcome to today's class. Today's class is going to be core and more. So this is Fit and 30 with V, which I'm doing pretty much daily. And today we're going to be looking at the core. So we're going to be working on the deep lower abdominals. We're going to be working on the lower back and everything above and below. All right, so I'm just going to move my mat around a little bit. And we'll just start off with a warm-up. We're going to do a sun salute for our warm-up. I'll go through it nice and slowly if you're not familiar, but this is a way of warming up the whole body, all right? So let's bring the feet together. Let's bring the hands to the chest, and then we take a gentle breath in, and we lift the ribs up and out the waist into a very subtle back bend. And then as we exhale, I want you to bend your knees deeply, bring the chest towards your thighs. See if you can get your fingertips to the floor. If not, rest your forearms on your thighs there. Let the neck relax. So move the head side to side a few times. Release the neck. You can have a little sway side to side as well. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to come halfway up and lengthen the spine. Engage the core here, everyone. So draw your navel up towards your spine. Draw your abdominal organs up and away from the floor. You can rest on the thighs here if you need to. Keeping that core super engaged, keeping the navel drawing up. Step back into a plank position. And then from the plank position, drop to your knees, point your toes away, and pull that belly up again. So always drawing the navel up towards the spine when we engage the core. And then move the shoulders towards the front of the mat, bending the elbows, drop all the way down. As you inhale, we're going to draw the shoulders away from the ears and send the heart forwards. And then we're going to pull up through the navel, and we're going to exhale into a little downward facing dog. And then from down dog, we'll inhale, walk to the front, bring the feet together, come halfway up, lengthen the spine. Again, pulling the navel up towards the spine. As you exhale, you're going to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do two more of those. So we inhale into a little back bend, stretching up through the front of the body. As we exhale and fold, we stretch into the backs of the legs, let the neck release. Inhale, come halfway up, engage the core by sucking the belly up towards the spine. Keep that core engaged. Exhale, step back into a plank, drop to half plank, pull the belly up into that little press up. Inhale, lift the heart, send the shoulders away from the ears, pull up through the navel. Exhale into a down dog, stretching into the backs of your legs. And then inhale, walk forwards, come halfway up, lengthen the spine. Engage your core. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. So one more, everyone. So we're going to inhale, stretch at the front of the body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, pull the navel up. Exhale into your chaturanga, which is your press up. Inhale into a little up dog. Exhale into down dog and breathe. And then inhale, jump, step and walk to the front, feet together, halfway up, engage your core again. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart and let the arms relax. All right, so when we're thinking about our core, we want to keep length here at the front of the abdomen. And we want to pull the navel back towards the spine with the tailbone down, all right? You've got a natural curve here in your lumbar spine. We want to maintain the natural curve, but we don't want to tilt forwards and have the belly dropping forwards. The navel needs to pull back, the tailbone needs to be down. So let's just warm up these obliques for a moment on the sides of the waist. So soft knees, everybody, and just start to dip side to side. So the obliques, the muscles on the side of the waist, you've got internal and external obliques, all right? And they do all the kind of side-to-side movements and all the twisting movements and the side planks. Keep the hips facing forward. So we're going to isolate now the upper body from the lower body. So keep your hip bones facing forwards and move the rib cage side to side in a little twisting. So we're not turning the whole body like this, all right? We're keeping this bit facing forwards and we're isolating the upper body from the lower body, getting that rotation in. Good. So keep that rotation going. We'll do about 8 more of these. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a reach over so we stretch out the obliques. And another reach over, stretching out the obliques. Let's take the feet wide. Let's bend the knees, lean over. Let's stretch the lower back out. So round up through your spine and then lengthen through your spine. So again, round up through your spine and lengthen through your spine. Let's do a couple more of those. So rounding up and lengthening. And the last one now. So rounding up and lengthening. And then we'll roll all the way up and circle the shoulders back and bring the legs in. So the first one we're going to do today then is anything where you balance is going to engage your core. So your core muscles, your stabilizers, are there to do just that, keep your body stable. So for example, if I was to balance on one leg here, I'd start to kind of wobble around, and then these muscles, these deep abdominal muscles, lower back muscles, would have to fire up to keep me steady and still. So that's kind of one way that we can work our core. And if you imagine that your core is like a big wide belt that you tighten up, they're internal muscles that kind of draw everything in. All right, so always imagine that you're wearing this big wide belt, and when I mention engaging the core, think about pulling the navel to the spine, tailbone away from the waist, and tightening up a big wide belt. Okay. All right, so we're going to go into a split lunge. We're going to take one step back onto the ball of the back foot, the feet widthways hip bone distance apart. Drop it down, nice long spine. You need the length here. I want you to pull your navel back towards your spine and send your tailbone down. And then we're going to take that arm out and we're going to just raise this one up and down. So we're going to go 1, 2. Now, if you had a dumbbell, you'd hold it in this hand. So what we're doing is we're adding some balance, and then we're adding some movement to increase the balance or make the balance a little bit more difficult. Now, these core muscles, unbeknown to you, are now switching on. They have to fire up. If they weren't fired up, you'd be all over the place like this, okay? So they're nice and strong now. Keep going. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Change sides and swap it over. Check that the hips, knees, and toes point forwards. Check that front knee is pointing in the same direction as your toes. You don't want to go in that way. Okay, so drop it down. Shoulders back. Length here, everybody. Navel to spine. Tailbone down. So you fix yourself in position. This big wide belt is on. And then when you're ready, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, let's do it once more on each side. So get into position, drop it down. Okay, you ready? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, good. 8, last 4, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change sides and drop it down. Length, navel to spine, tailbone down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you don't have a dumbbell, you can always hold a book or something in this hand, okay? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And relax. Now, the next one we're going to do is we're going to work the upper back. So we lean over this and we contract the muscles in the upper back by squeezing the shoulder blades together. But also, when we lean over in any of these positions, this is no different to doing a plank on the floor, but we're doing it standing up. So you have soft knees here. You hinge over and you try and get your spine almost parallel to the floor. And then you pull your belly up this way. So when we're stood up, you pull it back that way. Yeah. When we're folding over, you draw it up and away from the floor, and you try and get that length again from the tailbone to the crown of the head. So what you've got to be careful of in this position is that your head isn't doing either of these two things. We don't want the chin in here, and we don't want the head back there. All right, we need to keep that length at the back of the neck, navel pulling up, and then we've got the length here and we've got the core engaged. So what we're going to do is we're going to do these flies to work our upper back, but to make the core work extra hard, we're going to bring one foot up off the floor and do it. All right, now if you can't maintain your balance, if you're in this position with the foot up off the floor and you're wobbling all over the place, what I want you to do is just put your big toe down. So imagine you're lifting off the floor, but just put your big toe down for a bit of balance, okay? So take it where you're comfortable. Let's think about this then. Soft knee, hinge from the hip, lengthen the spine, belly up, shoulders away from the ears, back of the neck, long balance, and we'll go. 12. So again, if you've got something you can use as weights, hold on to them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then we'll come up, rest. We'll do the other side. So you'll probably notice your ankles kind of wobbling like that as well, because all those stabilizers, those muscles and ligaments around the ankles and the knees also having to work extra hard. They're twitching away. All right, so find your balance, get your length. So it's like you're doing a plank, belly up, shoulders away from the ears, and then we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then we'll come up, just circle the shoulders back. We'll do it one more time on each side. So when you're ready, lean over, make sure you're not rounding. Okay, you've really got to get that length, belly up, find your balance, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, let's do the other side. Last time. So lean over, take your time, get length, navel to spine, shoulders away from the ears, find your balance. And then we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12. Okay, well done. All right, let's come down. Let's have a look at our plank. All right, so let's come down to the floor for a moment. When you're holding a plank position, not only are you working your core, but you need to stabilize your shoulders. If your shoulders are weak, then you collapse into the shoulders and you don't get that lift up through the core. All right, so let's first of all think about the hand position in the plank and stabilizing the shoulders. So if you come to your hands and knees and get your shoulders directly above your wrists here, and then have a feeling of your upper arm here rotating out slightly, not too much, just slightly rotating out. So you've got the inner elbow bit here facing one another on both arms. Your inner elbows are facing one another, with your upper arms slightly feeling like they're rotating out, just very subtle. And then you've got to pull your shoulders away from your ears, and you've got to make sure that you don't sink your chest down like this between the shoulder blades. So what you've got to do is push away from the floor, lift up between the shoulder blades. So notice the difference. You could do a few of these. All right, they're scapular press-ups where your arms don't bend up and down. You're literally dropping between the shoulder blades and pushing away. So shoulder blades together, shoulder blades spread. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades spread. So maybe try a few of these scapular press-ups where your arms, your elbows aren't bending. My elbows aren't bending. I'm just dropping and lifting between the shoulder blades. Try and notice the difference. So when you're in a plank position, you need to push away from the floor, lift up between the shoulder blades, and you need to keep a straight line again from the tailbone to the crown of the head and from your pubic bone to your breastbone with your belly pulling up. So often what I see is people dropping in the lower back here and the belly's not pulling up. I often see people dropping the head or throwing the head back. We need the neck long, the back of the head pulling up. Okay, so there's our upper body. Then we need to take this leg out, tuck the toe under, really contract the quad here and your glutes, and then take the other leg out. And then you're in a super strong plank. The belly is pulling up at all times. If you ever get tired, what you do is you maintain the upper body strength and you drop to the knees. The core is still engaged. I'm not dropping. Okay, I'm not sinking. All right. So what we'll do is we'll just try and hold this plank for 30 seconds and see how it feels. Any issues with your wrists, come to the forearms and have the shoulders above your elbows. All right, let's try it. And here we go. Let's come into our super strong plank. Let's think about the upper arms rotating out, shoulders pulling away from the ears, pushing away from the floor, lifting up between the shoulder blades. Navel pulling up, quads are nice and strong, back of the neck is long. Stay there. We've got another 10 seconds. Now, from this plank position, what I want us to do is bend the knees, walk back towards the feet with the hands, and then slowly come up. All right. So the next exercise we're going to do is a walk through plank. So we're going to reach up to the sky here. We're going to walk forwards, come into that super strong plank. Think about your technique and alignment, and then walk yourself back and come up again. We're going to do it for a minute. Now, keep that navel pulling towards your spine at all times. You ready? Your minute starts in 3, 2, and 1. So you reach, you walk out into your plank, you pull your belly up and away from the floor, you walk back, and you stand up. Keep that core strong. Walk forwards, pull your belly up and away from the floor, walk back, and up. Stay strong. Keep it going. Walking forwards. Pull the navel up towards the spine. Walk back and up. Keep going. Walking forwards. Keep the navel drawing up. We've got another 30 seconds. So you can start to speed it up. Once you get into the rhythm of it and you've got your good technique 100%, then you can start to speed it up and make it a bit of a cardio exercise. 15 seconds. Keep going. All right, last 10. And we're done. Good, well done. Okay, the next one we're going to do for the core is we're going to do a squat and reach. It's going to be a narrow squat. So for a narrow squat, the hips, knees and toes point forwards, and the feet are underneath your hip bones. Your hip bones are these bits, not these fleshy bits, okay? There's knobbly bits there. So you have your hips, knees and toes pointing forwards. Before you go into the squat, again, engage this core. So length here, navel pulling back towards the spine. And then if you had a dumbbell or a medicine ball or some sort of form of weight, you would hold it to your chest here. And then for the squat, you send your hips back, maintaining the long spine, bend the knees. Pull that navel up. And then from here, you've engaged the core. And then you reach whatever you've got in your hands forwards, bring it back to the chest, and then you stand up and you engage your glutes. All right? So when you're ready, navel to spine. Here we go. Squat, reach, in, stand. 1. Squat, reach, in, stand. 2. See if you can get your elbows to your knees. Now, remember, we want that nice long spine and the belly pulling back. So really focus on the belly drawing up towards your spine at all times. Squat, reach, in, and up. Let's do 8 more. Squat, reach, in. Now, think about the position of your neck. All right. So try and keep the neck in line with your spine. 6 left. Squat, reach. So as you do the reach out, that's where you have to really focus on engaging the core. Otherwise, you're going to put pressure on your lower back. Keep going. Let's try and do 4 more of these. Nice and strong. 4. And there's 3. Good. There's number 2. Last one. And relax. Good. Well done, everyone. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor. We're going to go into a side plank. Now, When we do a side plank, we want a straight line from the ear, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle. All right. Unless we're taking our feet behind, and then we keep a straight line from the ear, shoulder, hip, knee. What we don't want is the knees being in front of us like this. Okay, so if I do this sideways on the floor, come down. So adjust your camera if you need to. So the body wants to be in a straight line. So the hip bones here will both be facing forwards. This top hip bone is not leaning back. All right, these legs aren't in front. All right, really important that you keep that straight line, because what we need in the side plank is length here and the navel again drawing back towards the spine. This is where we're working the lower side. All right, we need the shoulder here directly above the elbow. And again, we don't want to sink like this into the shoulder. So the first thing we do is pull and lift out the shoulder. So we get that by pushing away from the floor. So we need to lift out of the shoulder. Then we need to lift the ribs. Now, if we want to make it easier, we take the feet behind us here and do it from the knees. And then the hips lift up. You look for that straight line. This is where we're working. And the top arm comes up. So if you want to make it harder, you do it with the straight legs. And you lift here into the full side plank. See how it feels. Whichever one you're doing, we're going to see if we can take the top leg up and down. Lift. 1. Lift. 2. Lift. 3, lift. 4, lift. 5, lift. 6 and 7 and 8. Let's go straight into the other side. So you can just turn yourselves over. So let's think about the technique. Body in a straight line. All right, shoulder directly above the elbow, navel pulling back. Then we start from the top of the body. We lift out of the shoulder first, then we lift the ribs. Take the feet behind if you want to make it a bit easier, and then you lift up. Top arm comes up, and then we're going to straighten the top leg and lift again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Okay, let's do the other side. One more time on each side. So you know the technique now. Get into position. Try the harder one if you want to. Come up. And we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Well done. Let's change sides. So when you're ready, lift out of that shoulder first. Come up. Top leg goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, and 8. Well done, and relax. Good. All right, we're going to come and lie on our backs. And we'll just do some glute bridges here, but at the same time pulling the navel to the spine. So we're lying on our backs, let the arms relax. As we lift up, tilt the hips towards you this way. All right, so you're not going into a back bend, you're tilting the hips towards you. You're drawing up your pelvic floor, navel to spine, and engaging the glutes. So we'll lift up 1, and again 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just bring one leg in, have a little bit of a stretch there. And then bring the other leg in, have a little bit of a stretch here. And then we'll do it one more time. So when we're ready, let's go. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 more, everyone. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's have a bit of a stretch out. Bring it in. And the other side. And then bring both knees in, roll up. So we're going to do some roll downs and roll ups. Now for this one, again, you start by engaging the core. So you pull your navel back towards your spine. And then what happens is super, super slow. 1 vertebra at a time, you're going to roll all the way down to the floor. Head rests on the floor, hands over the head. And then we're going to do the opposite. We pull the navel to the spine and we slowly roll all the way back up again. Don't worry if your feet fly up in the air when you come up. All right, so we're going to do this one for a minute. So when you're ready, let's pull the navel to the spine, go super slow. So start off by rolling down, taking the arms all the way over the head. And then to come back up, you must pull the navel to the spine to engage the core to roll back up and sit nice and tall when you get up there, okay? So pull your navel to your spine, roll down 1 vertebra at a time, taking those arms out. And then as you come up, pull the navel to the spine and sit nice and tall. Good, keep going. Rolling it down. Keep drawing the navel to the spine and rolling back up. 30 seconds left, rolling it down. And rolling it back up. 20 seconds. Keep going. Let's see if we can do one more. We've got 10 seconds left. And relax. Okay, let's do one more exercise, everyone. We're going to have the knees bent here. Imagine you're holding onto a medicine ball here and the shoulders are relaxed. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it to the side, to the other side, and we do a little crunch. All right. So what we want to do is pull the navel to spine and roll back down low. The lower you go, the harder you're going to work. You'll feel it. Okay. It's going to go side, side, crunch. All right. Are you ready? Pull the navel to the spine. Let's roll it down. And we're going to go side, side, crunch. That's 1. Side, side, crunch. 2. Side, side, crunch. 3. Side, side, crunch. 4. Side, side, crunch. 5. Side, side, crunch. 6 to go. Side, side, crunch. 5 left. Crunch. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And the last one. And relax. Bring the knees in. Have a little roll side to side. And then have a nice stretch out. And then we'll bring the knees up, dropping the knees over to the left, taking the arms and the head over to the right. Relax there for a moment so we get a nice stretch into our abdominals and our back muscles there. And then we'll change sides. So swap it over. Good, and then we're going to bring our knees up. We're going to roll up. Come across the legs. All right, let's tilt the chin down towards the chest. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. And then bring the head up. Let's tilt it over to the side. Again, dropping the opposite shoulder away from the ear. And over to the other side. And then circle your shoulders round. And circle the other way. And relax. Well done, everyone. Hope that worked for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.